It's both. It's live and recording. Okay. Hi, how are you? I'm Karen Fox, and I am One Tone Therapy, and I'm here at the Center for Healing Therapies in Waterford, Connecticut. And today I'm scheduled for trying to do a workshop I have for toning. I think my internet's a little slow here, so I may go in and out. Bear with me. This is a 2-week class that we are doing here at the center. Because of COVID, people coming out and stuff, it's a little sketchy, so I decided to put this in as a live video. So here we are, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about some toning and how we can learn about it. But our second class, so it's a 2-part class, the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month will be here, and we can just come in and sit for an hour or so, 45 minutes to an hour or so, and do some toning. But the first class here was basically a beginning toning 101, and what you need to know and how to do some toning and the benefits of it and that kind of thing. You're probably wondering what toning is, and toning is an aspect of sound healing. It utilizes our voice, and we use that voice to move energy within our physical and our energetic bodies. So what we get out of it, we get relaxation, we can get excitement, we can get energized. Sometimes we have profound experiences in the mind and body. So it relieves stress, releases endorphins, and facilitates some self-healing. So toning is all about the voice, using that voice and moving the energy in our bodies. The most common misconception about toning is that it's not singing. Okay, there's no professional singing skills needed. All one needs is an ability to make a sound with your throat, your mouth, and your nose, out of your nose. So the key to toning really is facing our fear and our preconceived beliefs about our voice, about hearing our own voice and what it sounds like, and being told, when we were younger, you can't sing, you can't do, everybody can make a noise. And when we're born, what's the first thing we do when we're born? We cry. So it's a natural thing to vocalize and make noise. And language goes back many thousands of years, where it was just, probably some simple, 3 or 4 words or whatever it was to convey an idea. So also toning it goes back to the sound healing in the indigenous peoples and the shaman, and how they used to use their voice to move the energy and to help and assist in the healing of their patients and the people in the village. So one aspect of the sound healing is to use the Tibetan bowls. But if you don't have a bowl or you don't have an instrument that you can use, you always have your voice. So you can really move around energy and play with the energy in your body easily by using your voice. So the benefits of toning, again, can be experienced just by being present with an individual or a group that is toning, because creating the tone within one's own mind can also work. But the best energetic benefits come from sounding out. So being in a group, if there's we'll have, when COVID goes by, we have a larger group in here, and we get to toning and really making a lot of noise, we will really move some energy, and it really will be a profound experience. Sound and the nature of sound. Sound is a mechanical energy wave. It's an energy wave vibrations, and it's created by a matter. It's created by solid. It's created by something. So when I clap my hands, there's a noise that comes from that, and it goes out in a completely orbital, all around vibration, like throwing a pebble into the water. The vibrations, the ripples move out and out and out, and that's called the frequency. Sound cannot be heard in a vacuum. Studies have shown it's because it's a mechanical energy and not an electromagnetic energy. It's not heard in a vacuum. It needs a substance in order to be heard. The frequencies, so I'll talk a little bit about frequency and amplitude and the aspects of sound. But the frequency, when you throw the stone into the pond, the frequency remains constant, but the amplitude decreases as it moves further and further away from the source. So for instance, if I clap my hands, the frequency, you're gonna hear that frequency, the pitch of it is gonna remain the same wherever it goes, but by the time it gets to the corner of the room, it's not as loud. So that's called amplitude. And that's the difference between the two things. Like frequency is pitch. It's expressed in a length of a sound wave, and it's described in hertz. And there's shorter wavelengths and there's longer wavelengths. And the shorter wavelengths are it's short in the sense that they're close together. So you got a wave that's going like this. That's a higher pitched sound. Whereas a wavelength that's going like this is going to be in a lower pitch sound. Amplitude is the volume of it. So if you've got a wavelength that's going fast like this, a high pitch, but if it's going this way, it's really loud versus not as loud, but higher pitch. So that's the difference with the amplitude. So that's a little bit about sound. There's harmonics within sound, which means that there's one single tone, but there's also mathematically proportional to that fundamental tone. There's other tones that can be within it and can often be heard. It can be considered a chord. You know, you have a C and a G and an E, which makes a chord. So it's a multiple tone. Those are harmonics. The other thing that exists are overtones. So all sound has some type of other sounds or tones within it. For instance, if I were to strike the bowl, you're going to hear the main tone. There's one tone there, but there's also an overtone or a higher pitch from striking the edge. So that's what overtones are. Musically, I mean, I could talk a little bit about the mathematics of it, but basically a particular pitch, say the pitch C pitch, if it was C3 or the middle C on a piano, if you doubled that, is at 523. If you hertz, if you double that, you'll get an octave higher. So that's the mathematical aspect of it. And then there's numbers in there that create fifths and perfect fifths and fourths and stuff like that. So another aspect to sound is something called cymatics. Cymatics is the visualization of tone on matter, or tone or pitch on matter. There's something called a sound plate, where you sprinkle out some sand and the plate is attached to a pitch generator. And as you adjust the pitch, it has an effect on the sand that's on the plate. And there's videos on YouTube, and I can post those on my page and stuff. But as it vibrates that plate, depending on the pitch, if the pitch is a lower tone or a lower frequency, it's going to make a simpler pattern. Whereas a higher pitch is going to be a much more complex pattern. So the higher the pitch, more complex in the shape of the matter. So there's lots of effects about how how sound affects us and how it affects matter. So sound and light waves are different. Again, sound waves are mechanical waves, and they're expressed in hertz. Light waves are electromagnetic frequencies, and they're expressed in angstroms. There's the visible light spectrum, which we can see between red and violet. Those differences is so small on the complete electromagnetic spectrum band, which it goes to infinity on both sides. So there's so much more that's going on electromagnetically than we are able to perceive with our senses. X-rays are higher on the scale, above the ultraviolet rays, above the violet, ultraviolet, and gamma rays. Those are, and radiation, those are higher waves in the light source, in electromagnetic light. Whereas down, you get down lower in it, you get down below the reds, the far reds, the infrareds, and those kinds of things. That's also still light, but sound is not in there. There is a study, people have tried to correlate sound waves with light waves. There is, I forget the name of it, but there is a situation where people can hear colors, that colors have certain tones. So when I talk about toning, we're going to visualize our chakras, and we're going to visualize different colors. The colors that correlate with the specific tones are mathematically calculated, and again, there's, based on the frequencies, there's no way to really show that they correlate. So it's just based on some studies about people who have this ability to hear colors. So one of the things that I'd like to get into is the actual description about our voice, how we use it, where it is, and what we're going to do with it. Regarding vocal harmonics, there's two areas basically where our voice comes from and originates. And our first is in our chest, and it has everything to do with our breathing. So we have a chest voice, and then we have a head voice. And the chest voice is the voice that we are using on a daily basis. It comes from our throat. We can feel it when we you can feel it in your throat. When I learned, when I took singing lessons, and I learned where the head voice is, and that she often referred to it as your mask, and you want to sing out of your mask, and that's your nasal cavity in behind your eyes. So you would be more like if you were to kind of hum and push sound out through your nose. That's going to be out of your nose, your head voice. An opera singer is a really good example. Think about Beverly Sills, or somebody who really sings opera, and where they are when you hear that voice. You hear that out of her head. She's a soprano. She's all up inside of her head. So that is the head voice. Whereas you hear gentlemen, their bass, they're down inside their throat and they're singing low. So those are the two voices, and those are the things we're gonna learn to use. How we're gonna learn to use them regarding toning and the different pitches, so to speak, that we'll use in order to focus on the different levels of our body and the different chakras. So in this training, in this video, again, this is just the basics behind what toning is. I'm going to give you a couple of examples that you're going to go and do. You're going to do your homework, and you're going to work on these, and come back in 2 weeks, and we're going to do it as a whole group, and we'll see if we can get a really good sound in here. we should be able to have a good time with that. So the resonance inside of our head, we can hear it when two tones, if you've got, you hear me and I can sing a tone or a pitch. If you've got another person, if I've got another person next to me and that person does it too, we start to find each other. That's called resonance or entrainment, where we begin to find each other and end up making the same pitch. So when you get a group of people around that are doing this, it can be very powerful when you've got 4 or 5 voices that are all in that same spot. So again, with the toning and stuff, it's not how you sound. It's not about singing. It really is about sounding out. So the first thing that I want to do is just show how the best way to really get started is with a basic moaning or humming. Let's just hum. We can hum to start, and we'll just do again, all of this is breath work, so it's very important that we think about our breath. This is a very meditative exercise, and so we want to think about our breath. We're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. So we'll do and we'll do this a couple of times. And we're going to focus and try to get as much of our breath into our belly. So we'll breathe in, expand our belly, and pull air into our chest also, again through your nose. So let's do that with a hum. And we'll just breathe in. You want to use as much of your air as you can. Again, like a hum, we'll go. So if you're having a hard time with your voice, you can really, just start out with, you can really experiment with your voice. This is how I learned to do it. This is how I learned to sing as much as I sing. And that was just to, when I'm driving around in my car, the best way to do it is to do it in your car. No one's around. And you can just belt out whatever you want. So the things that I'll just show you is that where we're going to take those sounds and how we're going to make those sounds, what they are, and where they're going to go. So again, humming, moaning, sighing. Is a great way to warm up your voice. Go from high to low. Start in your head. Ooh, and go down into your chest. Ooh. Or you can go the other way. You can go in your chest and go up to your head. Ooh. So play around with it. Have fun. It's really about, getting comfortable with your voice and feeling the energy that happens when you do this. So toning is really more of just making sounds and using the sound and visualizing and setting an intention to where you want to focus that energy, that sound energy. I keep going to my core. I keep going kind of to my solar plexus chakra. It's just because that's where a lot of my energy comes from. But there's, indigenous, the Tibetans and even back before the Dark Ages, the monks and the nuns used to sing. And so it was really like a choral singing that was mantras and chanting. So there were words and phrases that were used that had some meaning behind them. So the difference between chanting and toning is chanting is with a word or phrase that has meaning to you, that you take into yourself as you chant it out. You are Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. So if you get into this rhythm, and it becomes a very meditative art, that's chanting. But toning is very simple. There's no words. The basic things we use are vowels. A, E, I, O, U, Ah. So it's just simple stuff that really has no meaning, but does have energy and power behind it when you put your breath, your visualization, and your intention to it. So the first vowel that we'll start with, is is when you say it really tends to resonate definitely in your chest, down lower. It tends to have a lower frequency or a lower pitch. So you have a low C or something like that. We could do it with the bowl. We could maybe you can use anything to find a starting pitch. But this is basically, it's based on the vowels that we're talking about is based on the 7 chakras. And we have the root chakra. These are all energy centers within the body that exist, that are linked to different endocrine systems. So the first is the root chakra, and then we have the sacral chakra, which is just a little bit below the belly button. Then we have our solar plexus chakra, which is just kind of under our rib cage, right in the center of our stomach. We have our heart chakra, which is pretty much at the center of our chest. This correlates with the thymus gland. We have our throat chakra right around here where our thyroid is. We have our third eye chakra, which is connected with our pineal gland, and then our crown chakra, which is our pituitary gland, which is really the gland that regulates our entire system. So each of those we can work with. When we tone in each of those centers, we can use a specific vowel. And the vowels really tend to correlate pretty well with each of the different centers, and also with the sounds that we're going to end up using with them. So like I said, the first one is we'll think about the root chakra, and the first one is So we'll just kind of take in a deeper breath into your stomach, expand your diaphragm and your chest, and then just kind of let it out. So it would sound like this. And Catherine, if you want to help me, we'll get in here together and we'll see what it sounds like when 2 people are doing it and they really begin to entrain. So again, we'll do it one more time, and this is still at the root chakra. This is the so we'll just take a deep breath in. So the next class in 2 weeks, we're going to do this extensively, and each chakra we go through, I'm going to talk in detail about what we're doing, what we're visualizing this for, and how the energy can help each of those energy centers. I'm going to have this, I have a little presentation in front of me. I'm going to have this available at a link that you can click on, and you can download it and see what I'm talking about and have the information in front of you so you can go along, follow along with it. The next sound up is O, as in no or so. So we'd go a little higher. We'll go up to a, let's see, the first one was we'll go to a O. So taking a full breath through your nose and then out, we'll go O. Again, your first time doing this, you might not be able to go that long. Don't push yourself. Do what you can. But it's about, again, it's really going to be about regulating your breath. Once you get into an entire toning session, you're really going to energize yourself because you're going to regulate your breathing in and out as you do this. And each time we would do a chakra center, we would do a specific tone. We're not going to do it much more than 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. Anywhere between 7 to 10 breaths, not much. What happens is you begin to really oxygenate your blood. You might get a little lightheaded. If you get to that point, just stop, sit back, and listen. Just listen to the sounds. Sometimes that's just enough, especially if you're in a group doing this. This is really good, very powerful when you're doing this with a group, and but very, very good if you do this on your own also. So the next vowel that we would go up, it would be higher up into your solar plexus, is oo. And so that is like as in soup. So we'll go up, we'll go a little higher. So it was o, ooh. So we'll go ooh. We'll do one more. You'll notice as you're doing these that maybe sometimes you can sound out really loud on some of the chakras, and some of the chakras you're having a hard time finding the tone. It could very well be, these are things we'll learn, is that maybe there's some energy blockages in some of these chakras, or they need, there's too much energy going on, or there's not enough. So you find that through toning. You actually will find out where some of that stuff happens. The next one up is ah. This is at your heart. So we'll just go a little bit higher. This one, because we're really starting to get into our chest here, this one often comes out quite loud. So this just a little bit higher, we'll do ah. So we'll breathe in through the mouth and out through the nose. You feeling it? Hopefully you're feeling it, because it's really good stuff. It's really very powerful. So we'll go up to the next one here at our throat chakra, and this one is I, and it's as in I am, and it'll be a little bit higher. So you can tell here from the heart chakra to the throat chakra, we begin to start moving a little bit higher into our head voice. We've incorporated both of our chest and our head voice a little bit. You can tell, again, it was o, ooh, ah, hi. So each of those vowels had really almost just fall right into the place where they're supposed to be. So the next one up here behind the head will really take you into your head voice. And this one is A as in baby. Then we'll go just a little bit higher. Catherine's able to hold hers a little longer than me because I know that I have some issues in my third eye. So for me, I'm going to do it again. I'll do it one more time. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth, and you can feel it right up here in your head. So we try to be really strong with that. A little bit better there. Good. So you're feeling energized. You should be. The final one is up here with the crown, and this one is E, and this one E, as in B. It'll be a little bit higher up, and this one you'll feel this popping right out of your head. So again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Envision the sound coming up through the top of your head, out of your head, and it's E. Nice. Let's do one more. Visualize big violet white light above your head. It was going like that. It's very cool. So that's the basis behind toning. If you're a little high, that's great. Come back and see me again next week. It would really be great if we could do it here in the center. Again, we are the Center for Healing Therapies, and we are on 83 Boston Post Road in Waterford, Connecticut. I, as One Tone Therapy, I have a room here where I do sound healing. So you can find me on Facebook and reach out to me. You can schedule an appointment to see me, talk to me, whatever you want. I can help you with any questions you may have about sound and or toning. But I'm going to continue to do this every second and fourth Tuesday of the month, so you will never miss out. I will probably not do it as an extensive 101 teaching. We'll just pretty much get right into the toning and do pretty much our full class that way. So again, do some homework. Learn your vowels, do some homework, and come back in a couple of weeks. And we'll do it live again too. No matter how many people are here or whether it's just Catherine and I, but I think we'll have a few more people.
And the center itself, just to reiterate an important point, the center is a very safe environment. Everyone here typically is wearing masks. It's just Karen and I today, so we're not wearing masks, but we want people to know that it's a safe environment. So whether you are coming here physically or joining us over the internet, either is fine, and we just want people to be comfortable, and we just want to help you experience this with us and for yourself.
Great. So thank you for watching. Please do me a favor and put a little review out there on my page. Share this, share this, share this, share this. And we'll get it out there and we'll get some people, we'll make the world sing again.